Festival's Centrepiece Gala and screening of White Rabbit. My name is James Ong, and I'm honored to serve as board chair at On Screen. Our 30th anniversary marks 30 years of uplifting queer cinema and queer stories. This year, we shine our spotlight on our youth and artists. We witness their strength and fearlessness. We are challenged to expand our ways of thinking. We are inspired by their stories and storytelling. We are on this journey together. Out on Screen is committed to reconciliation, decolonization, and working toward being in right relations with Two-Spirit and Indigenous people of these Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh lands. We believe in contributing to a society where Two-Spirit people are honored, respected, and celebrated for their traditional and contemporary roles, and are supported by wider society. Chief Byron Longclaws, President 38 of the Rhinestone Phoenix Charitable Foundation, and Chief Terry Red Thunder, Mr. Gay Vancouver 38, are here tonight to perform a blessing ceremony. Welcome, Chief.
Sigidam Hana, Skuwilksif, Vikat Nixnism, Skubakit, Dimbak Doixim, Gamliki Hata, Inami, Amasat Guna, Skutnis Yus Wam Nishta, Ishle Tiai Suwadi, Greater Vancouver Native Cultural Society. However, my uncle Byron and I bring you greetings and tidings on behalf of the Rhinestone Phoenix Charity Foundation and Mr. Gay Vancouver. I am this year's Mr. Gay Vancouver and the fourth male to hold the title and the first Nishka Two-Spirited Gay Man. So we entered with the Salish anthem, and it's customary for a chief to ask someone to speak on his behalf. So I'm very grateful to my Uncle Byron for entrusting me to speak on his behalf. He is Co-Salish and I am Nishka. So we've been doing this for quite some time now, and in our teachings, my grandmother had always instructed us, when you travel abroad and you enter into other people's territory or lands, walk softly, walk lightly upon their territory, and be mindful and respectful. So on behalf of you, Chief Byron Longclaws, we welcome you to tonight's events and festivities, and we'd like to thank Stephanie and all of the the people who volunteered their time and to make this happen, and for the past 30 years. Without you, there wouldn't be a safe and healthy environment such as tonight to express who we are as two-spirited queer people. Gabikid.
Chiefs. Please join me in thanking RBC, our 30th anniversary presenting sponsor, and Chris Thorne, who is here tonight representing RBC. And now please join me in welcoming Stephanie Goodwin, Executive Director, to the stage.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Have you been having a good festival so far? I'm out here tonight because it is my pleasure to introduce a new award to Out on Screen, the inaugural Volunteer Service Award. We always say that volunteers are at the heart of what we do, so we'd like to honor one every year from here on out as a small token of our appreciation. It will be and is now an annual award to recognize the significant contribution to LGBTQ+ communities through volunteer service with Out on Screen and its programs, the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, and Out in Schools, and other exceptional acts of service in our community. Now, the genesis of the Volunteer Service Award was with a single person, Kevin Saracen. Where are you, Kevin? Will you sign up and straight up? Attending the festival year after year, Kevin kept seeing many of the same volunteers at different venues, smiling and having fun. He was moved by their kindness, compassion, professionalism, all while being volunteers. He also recognized that our board chair, James Ong, and his partner, will enter his 20th year of service with Out on Screen next year. He proposed that we celebrate not only James's inspiring volunteer service, but to also celebrate the many other volunteers who donate their time skills to the organization. And Kevin's relationship with James gave him a front row seat to watch James explore and enjoy all the different roles and experiences that Out on Screen has to offer. James's Out on Screen journey began when he was a festival venue coordinator back in 1999. Then, the following year as a box office coordinator. James joined the board of directors in 2003, and 3 years later became the board chair, a volunteer role that he continues to occupy with much grace and professionalism 13 years later. And I just want to say personally, James's compassion, intelligence, and love for the organization and our queer and trans communities that he expresses through his voluntary service is a shining example of the best of what we have to offer. And I personally want to thank him. So, the Volunteer Awards recipient will receive a really beautiful certificate, a super pass to next year's festival, all of our recognition and love, as well as a $250 cash donation made to Out on Screen in their honor by Kevin Saracen, the owner of My Beautiful Garden. And to actually announce our award, I'd like to invite up our volunteer coordinator, Serene Carter, to welcome the recipient up here. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Serene Carter and I'm the volunteer coordinator for the VQFF, and I'm also an Out in Schools facilitator. Our recipient is a volunteer who's truly captured the spirit of Out on Screen over the past 4 years. From editing our program guides, driving visiting artists around the city, data entry for Out in Schools, and working almost every screening during the last 4 festivals, she's amazed every one of our staff with her grace, knowledge, and has done so entirely without recognition. She's our shining star, beam of light, and has taken us to the moon and back. Let me introduce the recipient, Rosie Dio.
quick. Thank you for this honor. I'm proud to be a part of such an amazing organization. I value my work here as much as they value me. I'm grateful to all the volunteers, the donors, the sponsors, the patrons, and the staff that make this festival a success every year. Thank you. And a special thank you to Kevin and James who made this possible. I know that all future recipients will be as thrilled as I am to be recognized. Thank you.
I am so proud to have served out on screen for these many years, and I'm so proud of where we are today. Out on Screen entered my life at a point when I was searching for a place of belonging and acceptance in a queer community. And to have found such a place of honor as board chair is a rare privilege. Through the years, I've worked alongside so many different board, staff, and volunteers. I continue to be inspired by their collective passion for this work, thoughtful minds in working together to solve challenges, and pure dedication and determination in attending to all the details. It has been a team committed to living our values and striving to find the best ways forward. I have often said that the out on screen of today is not the same out on screen as it was a few years ago. I've been saying this now ever since I joined the board. This organization continues to grow in leaps and bounds, and I have loved growing alongside it. I have to admit that I was really overwhelmed when I first heard about the award, and I am deeply humbled that my volunteer service has inspired the recognition of other volunteers. Kevin, thank you so much for your ever thoughtfulness and being my champion. We're at the halfway point in the festival, halfway through more than 70 films, 3 galas, 4 spotlights, 3 artists in residence, 2 parties, and at least 21 opportunities to hear directly from artists. I hope you've seen many of the films so far. It's an incredible lineup that takes a lot of talent, elbow grease, and a teamwork to produce and showcase. Many of you may also be aware of our other shining star, the Out in Schools program. For those who don't know, Out in Schools brings fresh, relevant queer film into BC classrooms to facilitate dialogue about the LGBTQ+ lived experience. Since the program's inception in 2004, Out in Schools has reached more than 100,000 students. By the end of 2019, we will have reached 100% of the school districts in BC. As we celebrate our 30th anniversary story, your donation can make so much magic possible. You can build queer space for our myriad communities to gather and celebrate. You can bring filmmakers and artists to the festival so we can hear firsthand the inner workings of their beautiful minds, so we can ask questions, so we can deepen the connection between artist and art lover. You can bring Out in Schools to youth living in remote communities who may not have access to LGBTQ+ resources otherwise. You can demonstrate the power of these educational resources to educators, administrators, parents, and governmental ministries who need help in addressing issues related to homophobia and transphobia. You can illuminate, celebrate, and advance queer lives. And so many of you already donate to Out on Screen. I want to recognize that. Whether you give $15, $200, or $5,000, each gift is important. It all really matters to us, to youth across BC, and to every audience member seeing their story on the big screen. By a show of hands, how many of you in the audience are current donors? Raise them high. Amazing. Thank you so much. helping to support this amazing festival and the groundbreaking out in schools. And thank you, of course, to all the names of the journalists that were scrolling on the screen, probably a little quickly for some of you too. Your long-term commitment is what gives us the ability to take chances, to show you cutting-edge art and film, and it shows us that we are a thriving queer organization in Vancouver. So far, 36 of you have responded with a donation, pledging a total of $10,558, and that's amazing. We are only a third of the way to our goal to raise $30,000 and halfway through the festival. If every person in this theater pledged just $39 tonight, we would reach our fundraising goal. Do it! We have 4 days left to make our goal. If you have not yet made a gift at the end of the film, visit outonscreen.com/donate. It's mobile friendly. Or visit the donor services table in the lobby and make your own commitment to ensure the important work of Out in Schools and this festival lives on. A generous Vancouver family has put up a match gift, offering to match the next $2,500 in donations. So your gift is effectively doubled when you give tonight. To hear more about the Centrepiece Gala film and our special guest, please welcome co-artistic director Anushka Ratnaraja and recognize the stunning programs of films she and Amber Dawn and the entire programming team have curated this year.
Nice dress.
Thank you. Showing up for you. Really, the only reason that I wanted this job is so that I could wear fancy outfits to galas. Thank you so much for being here at our Centrepiece Gala screening of the delightful and complex White Rabbit. Woo! Yes. So when Amber, Dawn, and I first came across this film, it was fresh out of Sundance and one of the first films that we watched together. And as soon as we watched it, we knew that we had to screen it for you at the festival. It's funny, it's complicated, it's ambiguous, it's earnest, and it has an incredibly big heart and intelligent brain. I was telling Nana Gana, who is one of the stars of the film, here with us tonight. Please stick around after the screening. She's going to be joining me for a Q&A. We're very lucky. She plays Victoria. You're going to fall in love with her character and probably also with her in real life. This film meant a lot to me personally when I watched it. I grew up as a young person who was mixed race, who didn't look like a lot of the other people in her small, white Christian town, who was a closeted queer for many years. To have seen a film like this when I was a child or a teenager would have meant so much to me. To know that it was possible to be a queer woman of color, to be an artist, to ask big questions about what am I doing in the world? Does my work mean anything? Am I being self-indulgent? Does my story matter? What will my family think? What is my responsibility to my family and their histories and their legacies? Who am I in this world? How do I fit? Where do I belong? All of these questions are asked and not necessarily answered in this film because, you know, where is the answer to any of those questions? I don't know still. So I was telling Nana that this film meant a lot to me when I watched it. It's very funny, it's very stylish, honestly. You're going to be jealous of the style that's happening in this film. And it also contains one of, I think, my favorite line from any film in the festival this year, which is, "Sorry I bit your boyfriend." And you're going to get the context for that very soon. So please enjoy the film and please stay afterwards for a conversation with the wonderful Nanagana. And thank you so much for being here. Halfway through! Yay!